Subnautica 2 has finally arrived, taking aside the spin-off Below Zero and the drama surrounding the development of this game. How is it really? Is it worth playing now, waiting until early access is complete, or should you just skip this completely? Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Is It Worth Playing? Today I'm reviewing Subnautica 2. This is a sandbox survival type of game set in an unfamiliar aquatic world. I'll be showing you some gameplay, giving you an overview on what to expect, the good, the bad, and ultimately if I recommend this game and to who. So let's get started. So, as I mentioned, Subnautica 2 is a sandbox survival type of game, extremely similar to Subnautica 1. To quickly summarize the story, you are a custom created character taking the role of the QI or qualified investigator. It's your job to pay off your debt by working and making this planet habitable for human life. However, you soon find out that you might not have ended up on the intended planet. And worse yet, other people have left mysterious and ominous messages in broken down bases, alluding to their untimely fates and what or who might be behind it all. The majority of gameplay you'll be doing is surviving, exploring, and furthering the story along. As always, if you guys want to see all the gameplay I got here for the reviews and ongoing playthroughs, there's a link to my Let's Play channel down below called MabiVsGames 2. Also goes, same thing for our Twitch live streams down below. With that being said, let's deep dive into the gameplay loop. So, you're going to be surviving. Basically, in this game, you have a ticking time for your food and your water. Luckily, you're easily able to get it all. In this world, it's all water, but you obviously shouldn't be drinking salt water. You're just a basic human. So, you're going to be going out, exploring, and finding food. There are certain sort of fish that, when cooked, will give you certain things like water, food, just sustenance in general. Another part of surviving is the oxygen. Because you can't breathe underwater, you have a very limited amount of time that you can stay underwater before you have to go back up, find pockets of air, or go back into your powered base where oxygen is readily available to you. So pretty much you have to go down, and it's a little tough because you're not able to dive down as deep as you want because you can't get back up, otherwise you'll lose your life and die. Same thing for going into different shipwrecks. Sometimes you have to go between different caves and corridors, and you might not make it back up, so you have to really watch out for your oxygen. Luckily in this game, there's ways to quickly get your oxygen back, even if you're super far away from your base. And also in this game, health. There's not a survival game without being able to pretty much die, right? So in this game, you lose health by, basically getting hit by different enemies or the different faunas. For example, there's like electric jellyfishes, enemies that come up to you and try to bite you if you get too close. They all have their certain sorts of AI and elements, like, oh, just don't get too close, or maybe you can dodge an enemy by walking left or right. And that's pretty much the surviving portion of the game. Moving over to exploring, there's different biomes in this game. You have your nice lush aquatic one where you start with, where you walk around, you see tons of friendly creatures who don't want to attack you, nice and colorful fauna, cool coral caves that you can walk through. And then you go a little bit further deep down, there's like hot, super crazy volcanic stuff underground where you have to have upgrades, otherwise you can't go in there because it's way too hot. If you go too far deep down into the ocean, the pressure gets to you really hard to collect more oxygen, or even if you bring down a vehicle, it'll be crushed. So you have to get lots of different upgrades for all these different biomes that you find. There's lots of passive and aggressive creatures, as I've talked about, the further you go. And there is a gigantic creature coming after you, which I don't want to spoil too much on what it is, but let's just say if you've played the first game, you kind of know what you're getting yourself into when you go into the much more later portions of the game. There's also different shipwrecks and abandoned bases that you're going to be finding, exploring. You can find really nice equipment there, recipes for stuff you can craft, as well as black boxes for reading and learning and pretty much listening to some of the messages left behind, where people try to survive. What happened? Do they turn on each other? Did something come after them? And that's part of the exploring. Next is building. Yeah, you do have to build an aquatic base here. It's pretty much pretty much a necessity in this game. You can activate all of your workstations there to be able to, craft and build new things and process things. You have a storage, so we can put down all of your equipment, all of your extra food. There's definitely decorations, beds, posters, awesome little models that you can put down, which I really like. And of course, there's moon pools in your base where you can store your vehicles so you can easily repair, upgrade them, and go out at a moment's notice. Next is going to be furthering the story. So as you reach deeper depths and go further away from your base, you end up in these dangerous areas. It's kind of like a Metroidvania in this sense, where you have to be upgrading your equipments and, pretty much like, oh, I have a bigger oxygen tank so I can go and further go between all of these corridors and stuff. I am upgrading my vehicle so it can go to the more depths without it being crushed, that sort of thing. Oh, I can now go to a biome where I can tolerate the heat, that sort of thing. So that's how you slowly go through. You're going to be dodging these dangerous creatures, finding these black boxes like I mentioned, and then you're ultimately, basically, you want to find out what the heck the alien life here is all about. Is it good? Is it bad? And, will you help them or not? That's the gameplay loop. Let's move over to the good before we move on to the bad, right? So I think a part of it that's really good, it's extremely similar to the first game. If you wanted more of that, then here it is. And I think it's been a good 9 years since the first one. I did play the first one when it came out. A really fun game. I think I have like 25 hours in it, completed it all. In this game, there's also a new skill tree. Not skill tree, but it's a skill sort of feature. When you get a little bit further in the game, you're actually able to assign skills to your character. There's actives and passives. For example, there's one that lets you actively dodge in the water with a cooldown. One of the passives makes it so if you swim along the bottom portion, along the ocean floor, you actually go a little bit further and faster. And also another cool passive is when you activate it, you are able to leave behind small trails that you can follow back, because there are some shipwrecks and stuff where you can get lost, and if you don't make it back in time, you're gonna kind of die. So it's really nice to have these cool abilities that you can now add on your character, which makes it so you can customize your sort of build anytime you want. Also, a good part is I think there's a good amount of content for early access at launch. I think you can get around a good dozen or so hours playing solo or multiplayer. And yes, this game has multiplayer. It has been added. With it, you can get a lot more done. You can have fun, build together, explore, do all that good stuff. They even modified the starting vehicle, where you can have, every character can have their starting vehicles. They can run around with it, or you can have one and the other people can just hang on the side of it. I think it's pretty cool you can do that. And overall, the last good thing is the gameplay loop is really good, just like the first game. You build a base, you upgrade your equipment and vehicles, you go out and explore as further as you can, farther, collect things, upgrade your stuff, look at the story, see what's going on, and then you repeat. It's pretty much just all of that. Okay, now for the bad stuff. 100% the worst thing about this game is it launched in early access. I hate early access. Oh my god, I really want to play this game for I wanted to play this game for the first time with the best experience possible. But that's the nature of 80% of Steam games these days, I feel. As of recording, for example, Project Zomboid, that thing finished, right? Did it? And then we have 7 Days to Die. And then we have other stuff like Enshrouded. I did the same thing as I'm doing with this game as I did with Enshrouded, right? Where basically I played as much as I could when the game first launched. Now I'm waiting for it to finish, but it's been years. But when it's done, I'll go back to it, right? Also in this game, another bad thing is there's lots of missing features, that you would expect to be in the game already. They do have a roadmap, which you can look at on the Steam page or website. Overall, lots of bug fixes. They don't even have a sprint button, which is weird. Actually adding more skills, update the map, further the story even more. I think people are saying that it's like in current early access, it's like 1/3 of the game so far. And then new vehicles, new creatures, pretty much everything. If you go to the roadmap, it pretty much just says we want to add more of everything, which is like, I guess it's nice, but it's like, nah. All right, so do I recommend this game in general? I really don't have any complaints. honestly, besides what comes with the early access stigma, the promise of more quality of life, the bug fixes, the more story, and everything else really sucks. It'll probably be in early access, I would say, for about 2 to 4 more years if I were to guess. The core gameplay, though, is just really good. You know, just like the first game, the feeling of exploring the deep depths into the unknown territory of aquatic life is as amazing as it's always been. You know, it's both terrifying and exciting at the same time, you know, slowly uncovering the stories behind the explorers who came before you, unlocking these new alien powers, you know, upgrading your equipment to go deeper and ride vehicles. It's a really fun time. So who do I recommend this game to? First of all, if you want to play a game simply for the story, there's at least a creative mode where you can do that. At the moment, there's no way to customize this sort of experience. It's going to be either survival, one type of difficulty, or just the creative. So if you want just creative, there's at least that for you. But overall, the it's not that bad at all. It's pretty easy, especially because you are able to heal at a moment's notice, you know, create new things, and you can explore at your own leisure, which is great. I do find that it has that sort of problem where, just like in the game like The Forest or Sons of the Forest, if you play those sort of games, there's no real amazing reason to build a base besides the essentials, right? Like, oh, I just want storage, I just want the workshop. People can build really cool, amazing structures, but I like it when games actually have a reason for, oh, more decorations, you know, stuff like that. So in a game like Enshrouded or Valheim, or even that latest pirate game which I reviewed, I totally forgot, Win something, right? Adding different furnitures, chairs, windows, lights, it gives you abilities, it gives you passives, it gives you purpose. And in here, it doesn't really have that. So that's another thing for the building aspect as well. But I would say if you are a fan of the first game, 100% get this. I would play the full experience just like I did right now, ASAP, and then drop it. And then come back later for version 1.0 whenever it comes out. By then, hopefully, enough time will have passed that it'll be a fun enough experience to go through again. Maybe even if you played it solo or multiplayer at that time, maybe try it a different way. But basically, this is a game where I wouldn't want to jump in like after every update. No, it's just one thing now, come back later when it's fully done. That's all I have to say about this. So that's my thoughts on Subnautica 2. I recommend it. It's fun. Whether you agree or disagree, I would like to know. Please comment below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. And remember, my full playthrough, link down below on the Let's Play channel. Bye.